Welcome to Half Read, the book club where the books are optional, but the cocktails are required. We are three executive women, moms, and lifelong overachievers who swore we were starting a book club.
But between boardrooms, soccer and hockey games, and 500 unread emails, guess what? No one read the book. So instead, we'll pour a drink, pick a book-inspired theme, and dive into real conversations.
From ambition, success, motherhood, leadership, and the beautiful chaos of trying to do it all. Think less War and Peace and more Gone with the Wine.
This is Half Read.
Books optional.
Cocktails required.
Season 2, ladies.
We're back at it.
Here we go. We are back in the saddle again, folks. And we have a big old thank you to deliver to everyone who has been listening to us so far.
Yes.
We have quite a few followers. We have quite a few downloads. And we have to say, much like we did in the epilogue, we are surprised by all of this. And we are grateful for all of this, right?
I think we did have a goal of like 20 or 30 downloads initially. So we do appreciate that we have well exceeded that.
It's pretty exciting.
I think we pretty much had a party when we hit double digits. So I think anything is wonderful over the top of it.
Absolutely.
But we are thrilled to be here. And the kickoff for season 2, today's episode, The Alche-Mist, is a play on The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Ooh. Alche in the title, I mean, it's
perfect. I mean, it was meant to be.
Yeah, for us.
Absolutely. And as usual, we didn't finish the book. We didn't have to. Because the one thing that we want you to know is that, you know what? You may not know what you're supposed to do with your life. You may just be scared. And honestly, same. But before we get started talking about the Alche-Mist, I think it's very fitting that we speak about our cocktail for this evening, which is a fabulously crafted Mojito.
Delicious.
So good, too. Yeah.
It is no strange coincidence also that the main character in our book is Santiago. And our mojitos were crafted by Santiago, my boyfriend. So lovingly crafted, shall I say, with mint, which is very refreshing and excellent, as well as a lot of rum and simple syrup and sugar, etc. So we will, as always, link the recipe and we will hope that you enjoy the mojito as much as we have. And as usual, if rum isn't your thing, feel free to adapt the recipe.
The mocktail.
Absolutely.
Always.
So, ladies, let's dive in. It's been a little while, and I'm so excited to hit the road with season 2. And I think this book for me is one I had not read previously. It's not like, you read it in 7th grade and you just forgot about it kind of thing, like Gone with the Wind. Exactly. You never did that. This one was entirely new to me. And when I was perusing the back cover and asking ChatGPT about what it was about.
Kids, don't do this at home.
It went further than I did. I have no idea.
This one actually took me by surprise because I have to say, there's a lot to unpack here. Not only is the author's real life story a parallel to the lesson in the book. It's like, don't give up on your dreams, right? He had literally given up on being an author. Basically wrote the whole entire book in 2 weeks and said, if it's published, cool. If not, whatever. The first publisher, second publisher, third publisher turned him down. And then finally it was published. And now it is the most published and translated book, period.
Is it really?
Wow. At least that's what ChatGPT says.
The magical internet told me this, so I believe
it must be true.
It's true. It must be true. So if it's not true, somebody fact check us. Please correct us in the comments. We were wide open to it. As
Sometimes
I said,
we're just making it up.
Did not read the book. Did not read the book. Full disclaimer. But I think honestly, a theme that is very present in the book is really about like, all right, you have a goal in life, and sometimes that goal is not a realistic goal, and we are always focused on getting to the end point of our journey. And what I mean by that is, the busy season at work. Well, it's not going to be as busy this summer. Or it'll lighten up once we're launched and on market. Or once the packaging thing is done. Or once the
It never ends.
It never ends.
Yeah.
And you're always kind of looking past where you are right now, waiting to get to something else.
Well, once I get there, then I won't be as stressed, and then I can take a moment and do these other tasks or things that I was they've been put on the back burner.
Only
it snowballs
going.
and it keeps going, and then it's the next big thing. It's the next big thing.
Because you keep landing and looking ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I guess my question to kick off this episode,
Meg
my
always
dear
has good
friends,
questions.
why can we not just be present? Like, why can we not just soak in the moment? And why are we always looking ahead to, oh God, next Monday we'll get through this presentation and this travel and whatever? But why can't we just live in the moment?
Expectations. I think that I think it's difficult to live in the moment. I think a lot of people try to do it, but I think you just get caught up with things. And I think that expectations from your boss and your peers and your colleagues and whoever there is, there's always that next thing that needs to be done. And so you never get that chance to enjoy it or appreciate it or take that moment for yourself to say, hey, I did a good job here. And I, let me kind of sit in that for a moment, because everybody else around you is expecting the next thing.
I think that's great. That's a great observation.
Yeah.
What do you think, Leah?
I would just repeat and echo what Lisa said. And I think what's
You're
interesting
like,
is...
it's late. I'm good.
She's like, it's just-
Ditto. No.
Forgive my interruption. Yeah.
No, but I think to add is only to say that a big person, a part of that expectation, of course, is yourself, right? Is us, in the fact that we, I think we just said it at the beginning of our intro here, overachievers, right? And those who have achieved at high levels, part of the way you've done that is you're always planning and what's going to be the next step and how am I going to get ahead and what do you mean ahead? What about right here, right now, doing what you're doing? What are you getting ahead of, right? And if you're always trying to get ahead, then no, you don't ever land. You just keep trying to figure out what should come next to be ahead, even of yourself, right? And so that being said, it's not necessarily always negative, right? You can twist it in many ways to make it positive of, the person that I'm fighting, I'm kind of competing against is myself yesterday, right? Is that's who I want to be better than. So that might be a positive spin on it, but sure, it's also important many times to just be in the moment and recognize your achievements for many different reasons. I think that we could all kind of discuss and get into,
Megan,
That's
I would
very
love to hear your perspective on it, because and just to add real quick, I gotta get closer to the microphone.
Yeah.
I think also a little bit of it is when you take a moment, you're standing still.
Yeah.
And when you're standing still, everybody else is moving forward. And I think when you're in that corporate world environment, standing still is not so much a good thing, because everybody's always looking to strive for the next thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And so even though you may have finished that goal, that objective, that project, whatever it was, everybody's always looking for the next big thing.
Yeah.
And if you stood still to take in that moment, everybody else is already moving forward.
Yeah.
And so you want to stay in it.
That's incredibly salient.
And I know
perfect.
you're in that big corporate world right now, and you guys are moving full steam ahead. So I would love to hear what are your thoughts on that?
Thank you for that question. I think, we're in full-on launch mode right now for a brand new cancer medication for a therapeutic area in hematology. It's a super rare blood disease, and I am absolutely just thrilled and blessed, I think, at the risk of sounding a little bit trite to say, I'm blessed to do this, but to have the opportunity to try to launch something brand new for people with cancer who are suffering terribly is a gift, and to be able to see the impact that you can have, right? Having said that, you're absolutely right. And in a career where I've done a lot of different things, and in a moment where I'm trying to focus on the positives and what I have the ability to control right now, it's very true in corporate America that it is not what you are doing or what you have done for an organization, but it is what you are doing right now. What could you be doing better right now, and what is that next thing? And I think standing still, at least you hit the nail on the head. You've seen it in your career, and Leia, you see it in yours too. It's like if you're not always innovating, you okay? Lisa just cracked her kneecap on the table. As always, guys, we're live. But as we're always pushing towards that next thing, it's like we don't usually take enough time to actually recognize where we are in the world at the moment, right? Or what you've done. And it's been a very nice thing because, we went to a big oncology meeting very recently, and I was talking to a couple of old colleagues, and they're like, you know what? You should be really proud of what you've done in your career. Like, you did this, you've loved big teams, whatever. I'm like, it's funny. Like, when I saw myself through that person's eyes, it was a very different perspective than what I have presently, because what I have presently is colored by my leadership at the moment. It's colored by my role at the moment. It's colored by all these different things. That to me sort of reset me a little bit. And I was like, oh yeah, shit, I did all that stuff, didn't I? And that was me that did that. And you sort of re-anchor yourself in that perspective. Don't thank you for that question, because it's a good one. I really appreciate it. I think the other thing I would ask us, and for all the moms out there, and even if you're not a mom out there, even if you're watching family members get older, or watching, spouses, watching whomever, the one thing that impresses me, or impressed upon me the most in reading about the themes of this book, not the book, but the themes of the book, was it's not necessarily about the end point of the journey upon which we are so transfixed, right? But it's more about the actual journey itself. And for me, this is perfect example. Looking at our kids, you guys.
That's exactly what I was thinking of as we talked about this.
My oldest is going to be 23 in 2 weeks, and he's living on his own with a job, and he's not living with me anymore. And he is my baby, even though he's a 6'3" strapping young man with a girlfriend and a job and a blah, blah, blah. And even the youngest, even Kieran, like almost 13, having... Like, he's not my baby anymore. There's times I just want a big old hug. I want him to sit on my lap, and I want to hug him and kiss him. And I go to kiss him when he walks in the house, and he's like, oh, it's fine, Mom. I'm taller than you now. And I'm like, oh, geez, man, when did this happen? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, stop and smell the roses. Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. That's the one place where I felt like I have enjoyed living in the moment. And I think at times it's because I've watched my kids want to get to the next, especially my younger one. And for obvious reasons, because he's seeing the next happen in his brother. So he's always been wanting to be a little older and get to have a little more responsibility and a little more independence and a little more of all of what's coming next. But for me, I always kind of smirked and thought when people said, oh my goodness, don't you miss that stage, or are you looking forward to that stage? I always felt like, no to both of those statements, because I'm absolutely just soaking in where we are right now and what we're living through right now with my kids, and just tried to kind of eat it up as much as I could, because I guess the difference with that is that I, God willing, but I knew there was a next, right? Because time will move on, and something is coming next for them. And so I knew that actually I had to hurry up and enjoy now because next is always coming when it comes to my kids. So that's the one place where I have felt like I really just tried to slow down and enjoy the journey.
It's hard because you get going and you're in it. And you're moving quickly, and all the experiences are happening, and then all of a sudden you hit that like a milestone where you kind of you moved on, and you're like, oh no, like, did I enjoy it? And I feel like for the most part you feel like you enjoyed it, and you took the moment to smell the roses in it, but it always kind of hits you hard when you hit those points, like right now, like my son, and he's starting to referee, and he basically has a job, and he's 13, and it's like wow, how did we get here? You know what I mean? It's just it's scary, and
When he's asking you in a voice that's a lower tone, Mom, can you drive me to
I know.
But he's
What?
excited to do it too. And
Yeah.
he's in it, you know, he's just growing up.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, did I enjoy all of those moments? Because now here we are, and then the next thing is going to be they're going to be driving, and then they're going to be going to college, and you know, it's one thing after another, and you just you want to make sure you're enjoying all those little pieces.
Yeah.
But,
What about when you think about your own career, right? So our kids are one thing, and I fully go through the nostalgia moments of looking through my phone and having, you know, oh, there's the picture of the kids when they were little and both riding the same little motorized, you know, scooter through the living room, whatever, just the adorable moments. What about for us? Like I remember being younger and being like, man, I'm 21 and I can go to the bars. Like, that'll be awesome. And then it was like, wow, when I'm 30, that'll be so cool. And then it was like, holy crap, I don't want to be 40. That's old.
Yeah.
And now I'm 50 and that's even older. And you're just like, oh my God. But I've actually started to think about looking forward again. And I'm like, oh, maybe I just can't wait to retire.
Wow.
Like, what is this
Yeah.
going to look like when I don't have to work anymore? And what I guess, you know, and it goes along with the theme of the Alchemist also, is like, what are you willing to trade to get there? So am I willing to trade the next 12 to 15 years of my life to say, no, like my whatever physical status I may have, whatever mental, you know, decline, let's be real, right? Like there's only so much like NAD and that you can take. So what are you willing to trade, I guess, to get to that next milestone?
oh God, I don't even know.
Yeah. That's an interesting way to think of it.
Yeah.
Which I've not. And the truth is it is always kind of a sacrifice and trade you have to make to move on to the next step. Never thought of that. You know, like it's often the case, and especially these kind of big ticket items of, you know, the jobs and the homes and the, you know, different status, you really often can't maintain and go on to the next, right? Whether that's you're changing a job or you're moving a house or, you know, changing a location, adjusting a relationship, right? It's such a lifestyle modification. And so I don't know. I don't know that I don't know, or if I'm scared to admit, you know, because if I think of the comforts where I'm in now, you know, what would I trade? And I guess as I get older, I think it's what is worth a trade of where I am when I'm feeling so comfortable.
Oh,
you know,
that's a good one.
So
Yeah.
because I think that's what has you decide of how, you know, if this, you know, talking about, you know, your destiny and wanting to, you know, keep going after, you know, what may be ahead for you. But what if you know, are also content in where you are? What should there be a next?
Yep.
I think just by being in humans, we believe, there is supposed to be a next. You mentioned, you know, retirement and our kids are getting older, and what is that going to look like, and how do we strive towards expectations of what's to come next?
That's brilliant. And so, Lisa, my next question. This is the safe life trap, right? It's a safe life trap.
Safe life trap.
So, what that means.
I trade things.
And just kidding. Yes, you do, honey. You're fine. No, I'm kidding. But in the book, right, they talk about, you know, you have to have a villain of sorts, right? And the book's villain isn't a person necessarily. It's comfort and overcoming the comfort zone. And we talk about that all the time at work, right? I'm in my comfort zone doing this or that. And like this job for me is outside my comfort zone, right? We all take chances at times. We all go outside of our comfort zone. But when you take that chance to say, you know what, Leah, to your point, like, I'm good where I am right now. I'm safe. I'm comfortable. What if you have a dream for something more? What if you want to be a podcaster? What if you want to be a guest on Oprah's podcast? What if you want to be on the news? I'm being facetious, kind of, sort of. But at the same time, it's like, what if you have dreams or aspirations for more? And what does it take to kind of bust you out of that? Like we talk about that for us, right? Like this is us busting out of our shell in a bit. This is us being unsafe. Yeah. Being vulnerable, putting ourselves out there, getting outside of our shells. What does it take
and
for you?
And that's the thing, though, is I think, like, a year ago, this wasn't even, like, a thing. This wasn't even something that was on the radar. Like, at least for me.
No,
it was like, I would never,
Dude, it took me losing my job. And I was like, hell no, this is what we're going to do. Like, I needed something to help me from going crazy. Right?
But that's the thing. I think you, at, like, different stages in your life comes new ideas. And so it might not have been something in your 20s that you were thinking that, hey, I'm going to be doing this. Right. But it is now. And this may lead to, you know, to inspire you to have a different goal. About something else. Like right now, like you feel good and safe and content in where you are and what you're doing, but who's to say in 5 years you don't have a thought about something else? For sure. You know? I feel like, for me, I feel like when you had mentioned the whole like villain piece of it, like I feel like right now the villain for me is a little bit of work. Whereas years ago, it was probably the hero.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have shifted in that. And I'll be honest. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I think about like, oh, I can't wait to retire and then start doing something else that I want to do. Because I feel like I'm now in that. I'm closer to that than I am than I was before. So you start to think about that a little bit more. And I do feel like that holds us back a little bit. Because I think that there's things that I wish I had more of. And I think it's more as far as like life goals, like just being closer to family and spending more time, you know, with family because, you know, our parents are getting older and, you know, ailing and all of that. And you just kind of want to be there and you want to have that connection more because you know that it's going to go away at some point. Right. So I feel like I find myself thinking more about that than I do about my career, like I used to. Yeah. And I feel like that shifted in the past couple of years. Yeah. Before it was always about my career and, you know, okay, I got to move here in order to continue this and do that. And now I feel like my, you know, the villain and the hero have shifted a little bit.
Same girl, same. Yeah. Same. I wonder at what point do we can we get 10 minutes from now? I don't know. Guys, we
could just be podcasters for the rest of our lives.
Click like and follow, please, and share. Exactly. No, I think, but at what point is that turning point, really? Like, where do you feel like you hit that point? I think for me, it's been in the last year when I have reached a point where I'm like, I cannot wait to be at Jay's cottage in Michigan and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. God, imagine what that's like. Or 9 o'clock in the morning. Imagine what that's like. And then make a delicious cup of espresso, sit it on the, you know, the deck and watch the lake come to life. And I can't wait for that. There's a part of me, I just want to be able to function as I function now. And like, you know, not have absolutely everything hurt while I'm doing that and still be able to see it and still be able to like, enjoy those things. And, you know, working in the field I work in, it's like oncology. It's like, man, every moment you have on the side of the grass is a good one, right? Like I see terrible things, hear terrible stories every single day, and I'm grateful. And that's where I think a lot of my questions are coming from. It's like, especially being in, you know, the BPDCN space now, like this is a terrible diagnosis, and whatever we can do to help patients that have this diagnosis, and there's so many other diagnoses just like it. It's like, if you are trying to help and give, does that give you some sort of, I don't know, grace or gift towards like what you can enjoy? My answer is no. I've seen terrible things. People who have spent their whole life fighting to treat patients with lung cancer who then get lung cancer themselves, never having smoked. Or, there's terrible stories out there every single day. So it's like the lesson in life is enjoy what you got when you got it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. And so, in this, probably it's the reminder of enjoy the journey, right? Not the destination is coming, but the journey is a huge part to enjoy. I think that's, if there's any lesson, is that's a big one. I really think.
Okay, so
I think I've enjoyed the journey. I think we all enjoy the journey when you're going through it.
Yeah.
I think you're more aware of it the older you get. You're more aware of appreciating it and wanting to enjoy it as you get older.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Have you seen the movie Final Destination? Speaking of this,
I feel like I have, but
so it's cheesy, and of course I loved it when I was younger. But it was it's a horror movie, and it's about like when it's your time, it's your time. Like like there was, I forget the exact plot, but it's a group of teenagers, of course, who were supposed to get in an accident. Something was supposed to happen. They were supposed to be dead, but then like fate comes for them one by one, and they of course die in horrible ways because it's a movie. But
sounds like a great movie.
I mean, at the time I thought it was pretty good. I liked it at the time. Now I'm like, God, what a terrible concept. But
Sign me up.
at the same time, do you believe in fate? Like, do you believe that, Leia, you were supposed to be an internal medicine physician? And think about the lives you have changed and the ways you have positively impacted people and lives you've saved, lives you've prolonged. Least same for you. Like, how have you? Like think about the people you've touched with the work that you've done. What do you think about that?
Leia, you go.
I will say, so I am a woman of faith. So I don't know if I call it fate or if I think of it that, the story is written. I am a believer. So in ways, yes, I do feel like, but that being said, I don't think it's a throw my hands up in the air and whatever I do, I'm going to get to this endpoint, right? I think there's work to be done and the way in which we ultimately, I think it's hard to know and define exactly what that endpoint is and whether I ever do or somebody ever does. Who knows? Because I think my earthly human perspective isn't enough to understand, oh yes, being a doctor was my fate. Is that my high calling, or was it being a mother, or was it being a wife or a sister or a friend, or right? And some of these other things were just really side tools to being that thing, right? So again, I think it's
how you look at it.
Right. So then that's why, again, in that message of enjoy all of it, because who knows what part of this is the journey and what part is the destination, because it's all, take it all in, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What
I
about
mean,
you?
I believe in fate for sure, but I also believe that people can have different faiths, if that makes sense. I think that, maybe, you were called or this is what you're doing, but I don't think that could have been the only thing. I think that was the path that you chose.
Sure.
And I think there might have been multiple paths of things that, and that's how I feel.
Have you ever seen the movie Sliding Doors?
No.
It's so good. You should look it up.
Okay. I'm sure it's better than Final Destination.
It reminds me of that. It's Gwyneth Paltrow, right?
Ah.
And it talks exactly about that, kind of about fate. And anybody out there who's watched it, comment, because it really does speak on exactly what you just said, Lisa. That as much as there are so many different paths, but in the end, it kind of leads you back.
Yeah.
And it ultimately always comes back. It's really good. It's an old movie, but
I need to watch it.
Sliding Doors.
I do like my Gwyneth Paltrow movies.
What do you think, Lisa? Meg.
Meg.
Yeah.
He was sitting right there.
Yes.
I mean, I usually ask the question. I think, same. I do agree that I believe in a path for yourself, right? Like when I was younger, I was like, dude, I'm going to med school. Like, I'm going to be a pediatric cardiologist, period. End of story, done. Get to college, screw around playing basketball, have way too much fun, and get a little derailed my freshman year and had to make up my GPA. Like, end up graduating with honors, etc., but not enough to get into med school, right? Like, officially into med school, and or at least not where I wanted to go, and then change my path entirely as a result of all of that, right?
But maybe that was what your fate was. Like, just because you had that thought that that's what you wanted to do doesn't mean that maybe that was
well.
where
And
you were supposed
when
to
did
go.
I form that impulse of when I wanted that? I was like 16, 17 years old. So looking back on it now, I'm like, you know what? I loved every moment of my career until last year. Like, I've loved like most of what I've been able to do, most of what I've been able to learn. I think a lot of it is in our control, as much as we want to think sometimes that things are out of our control or there is some preordained path. I don't know that I believe that there's a preordained path, like where you're supposed to end up. I think you have a number of options, and based on what suits you and when it suits you. Okay, so here's a loaded question, and I know, we want to kind of wrap up, but it's very well suited for this topic. It's like, do you believe that there's one soulmate for you?
No.
Like, that's kind of the question. Like, a moment in time. Think about all the movies. Like, we've been kind of hitting on the movie theme along this. But think about the moment in time at which you, like, I got married. I just turned 23 years old. I didn't know what the hell side was up. I didn't know who I was. I had zero idea of what was in the world or what to expect or what it expected from me. And here I was, like, enamored with this other person who ultimately turned out to be so poorly matched to me. Not a terrible person by any stretch, but just not a match for me and not a fit for me at all.
But he was a fit for you
At that time.
But was he, I guess, is the point. Like, or did I square peg round hole kind of thing?
Well,
like,
that could be that too.
I mean, and that also has
It could be that too.
Yeah.
But I think that sometimes, I don't know, I've always been somebody who looked at things from the perspective of, I don't regret anything, right? Did I do some stupid stuff? Did I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't have Grady if I didn't do that. Like,
right?
I fully believe that I wouldn't change my path.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, in that moment, he was the right person for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have him, right? So I think that we kind of, we go through things and we shouldn't regret things in life. I don't think anybody should. I think that those are moments that happen that probably were supposed to happen and lead you to the next thing or lead you to where you're going in life.
Yeah.
And
I would not change a thing. I would do exactly the same thing over again because then I still have my Grady in the way that I have my Grady. I have Marin and Kieran. Like, those are the things that I would not change that part of my life at all. I would be smarter.
Well, yeah, and that's why
going through the whole process.
There's not one person for somebody because clearly there was, more than one person for you because in order to get Grady, you needed to be with that person at that time and so on.
Yeah. But you don't believe in soulmates, Lise?
No, I believe in soulmates.
Is there
But
just
I don't.
one?
But I'm not sure if I believe that there is just one person out there.
Oh, okay.
I think there are people who are in your life at certain times that can be soulmates. But I don't feel that it was only destined for one person. Do you guys think that?
I don't know that that's true. That's hard. I'm at times there's people that I'm so drawn to. So I think at the most I would think the same as what you said, Lisa, is that yes, I believe in soulmates. Is there only one? That I doubt.
Yes, exactly.
But I think it is something to say that there are just those that you almost can't explain that drawing, and there's something to be said about that feeling.
Yeah.
So, do you?
And if you find that,
Yeah, Meg, do you?
believe?
Soulmates?
I
Yay,
think
nay.
that
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
thumbs up. I would go thumbs up.
Yeah.
I would say yes. Your soulmate. I think you're right. It's in the moment that you're in your life. And
So you do think that there's a soulmate, but not just one.
I think it's very possible. Same as you guys. Like, so at 23, what I thought was great. 50, no, not so much. I was like, what the hell was I thinking?
But
Now,
that's
like,
growth. That's growth and maturity.
well,
right?
and when I look at age 50, and I say, what do I want for the rest of my life? What do I choose to accept in a partner? What am I willing to overlook? What are my core principles and core values in terms of who I want to be with for the rest of my life? It's Jason. Like 1,000%, hands down. I'm like, you know what? It was meant to be that this man was brought into my life at the moment in time. I know that sounds cheesy.
No,
not
it's,
at
it's
all.
understandable.
I love him more than life itself. And when I look at him, there's times where I'm just like, he'll smile at me in a way and I'm just like, a puddle. I'm a puddle. I'm like, I love this man. The barometer for me, and this is going to sound terrible, so please forgive me. Or if you feel the same, let me know, please. Make me feel like more of a human. It's my barometer is my kids. Like if I love someone even close to as much as I love my children, then fuck yeah, I'm supposed to be with them for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. And there's moments I look at Jay and I'm like, I cannot envision the rest of my life without this man. I can't. Like, I don't care. He could do pretty much anything. I don't care. I love him in a very similar way to how I love my kids. I don't think you can ever say you love them the same.
Yeah.
And it's not a factor of more or less. It's like a different
It's
it's a
different.
different
It's
channel.
completely
It's a different radio station. It's like you can 100% have that same signal. It's a different radio
It's
station.
how you
different
it's how you
planet.
love your kids equally, you know. What
But
I mean?
even
Like,
but even to
so-
have that same sort of like, oh, that signal's just as strong, it's just a different station, station. It's like, yeah, that's there. And there were other times where I was willing to walk away from things because nope, not even close. What about you? What do you think?
About that?
The radio signal.
The radio signal? Oh, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
I mean, it's late. We always record late, guys. It's like 11:20.
I'm starting to
Yeah.
fall asleep. No.
We need to wrap it up. Yeah.
No, I mean, when it comes to my kid, I think that the love is beyond.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that compares it. I can't even describe it. It's kind of just over the top. Like, I never thought I could love something so much. And I also got married later in life. I was not married, when I was younger, in my 20s. I was married in my 30s,
Yeah.
mid 30s, if that. So but I had long-term, boyfriend when I was in my 20s. But I felt like we grew apart and we matured differently, and we both kind of went into different directions, which we could have very easily have gotten married in our 20s, and then it probably would have ended up in a divorce because we just grew apart. But I don't know. I always had that mindset of when I got married, I wanted it to be right, and I felt like maybe that's why I kind of waited so long to meet somebody that I really felt that they were the person. But the love is just different, right? It's just, yes, it was like all in, okay, this is my person.
Yeah.
But then when I had my kid, it was like, wow, like there's just something even beyond. I can't even explain it. But
I think the best situation is when you have, and it doesn't happen very often. I know people who have gotten married, like high school sweethearts, get married straight out, and
I
they're
don't
still
know how-
going strong.
yeah. But that
Chrissy
everybody's
and,
different.
Ryan.
I think-
Yeah, and
I always
it's very
think of them.
infrequent.
7th grade.
Yeah,
Wow.
They've been together since. Yeah.
Like that's Kieran's age.
Yeah. Isn't
Micah,
that- I
like
know.
Grayson, like no. You're not getting married to the girl you've been dating since you were in 7th grade. Like, think about us now. What would we tell our kids?
But that's what makes everybody so different, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I had a friend in high school too, who I know she's still married. I'm not, super close with her anymore, but I know that she's still married to the kid that she was dating in high school, and they were perfect. They were great together. They were awesome, people, but they're still together, and that works for them. And they probably grew and matured together.
That's it.
But everybody
that's
is
it. You're
different.
right. Yeah.
And so it's about finding that right person at that right time.
Right.
Yeah, that is a brilliant point. Brilliant point. What do you think, Yeah. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
just, I would agree. And that's, I think, also when we talk about whether it's love or work or anything along our journey, if, going back to, the person you're destined to be with, or the job you're destined to be in, or the place you're destined to be, is, of course, looking inward and saying, is this person, place, thing really meshing with where I'm going,
Yes.
right? I think you yourself are your own entity, right? And so I think that if you are where you're supposed to be at the point in your life of who you are, then it will work, and that is where
And then
you're
it's
supposed
easy.
to be, and then
Yeah.
it's easy.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's with the person you're to love, the work you're supposed to love, the place you're supposed to be, all of those things. And often maybe that's because we were asking, when is it that we know where to move on to the next thing? The first place is to look in, and not to look outside and say, is this right? Because it could be right for so many different people. I mean, look around you. There's lots of people here. So it's right for somebody. If it's right for me, depends on who I am in that moment, right? And so I think, yeah.
I love that. And I think that's where we should leave this. Because for me, I think this is the reason why we do this show, guys. It is, we half read the books, but we fully have the conversations, right? Like, we're not afraid to go into some of the deep, dark places and talk about the things that are real. And when you're on a 7-hour car ride by yourself, what do you think about? What do you think about? Like, these are the things that I think about. And I just did it yesterday. I'm not lying. Like, you think about weird shit when you're left to your own devices for a long time. And I think this is the thing, you guys, I'm so appreciative because we have these conversations. And, hopefully our listeners also have 7-hour car rides and think about weird shit from time to time. Or maybe they're just listening to us. Or maybe they're just listening to us, right? And we have these conversations, and you guys, hopefully some of what we talk about resonates with you all. And you have, at least a semblance of the connectivity to us that we have with each other. And I'm so grateful that every single day with both of you guys. The best conversations we have are not necessarily about the books, right? That's why it's a book-inspired theme. Yeah. The cocktails always help, I'm not going to lie. But, the books kind of give us the permission to finally say out loud what we're thinking in some instances, and to really have these questions and these conversations that really spur that deeper sort of introspection and
it's
thought.
A springboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a springboard to... more thoughts, ideas, conversation.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, season 2, welcome to it, folks. We are fully into it. This season, we promise a bit of a roller coaster. We're going to do some guests. That's right. Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy our guests.
We'll have some
rather
fun.
Interesting.
We'll have some fun.
Well, we can promise some good laughs and some interesting conversation.
Absolutely.
Exactly. We're going to expand our repertoire a bit as well. We've got some AI themed episodes. We may have some aliens themed episodes, and turn those into Star Wars themed episodes if you have Jason on board.
We might have some manifestation. God, I'd love
it.
I had to bring that up.
Thank you. They're making fun of me because I want to
Yes.
talk about manifestation. I think it's a real thing. Like, we need to hit on this. And darn it, if it's not a real thing, we are gonna be on the Mel Robbins podcast. We are gonna be on Oprah's podcast. I manifest this now. But I fully believe I'm one of the most lucky human beings in the world to have you two as friends, and to have you all as listeners.
Yes.
So we thank you sincerely. Come join us for season 2, folks. It's going to be a great ride. So remember, we are half read, where the books are optional.
Cocktails are required.
Thanks, everybody.